Hey Capricorn, welcome to your yearly 2019 Sidereal Astrology forecast. All right, so this year we have a key emphasis on two areas for you. One is going to be where Jupiter is in your 11th house. So great year for expanding your horizons when it comes to your network circles, friendships, community, and also just generally your future ideals. Anything that is a future ideal of yours, really good to cultivate and really expand your beliefs with. That might even create some opportunities with here this year. So with this, we have Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node all in your 12th house. So likely a lot of work being done here with your psyche, with your deep self, your spiritual self, also maybe a bit behind the scenes. So it's a great year of doing that work, while at the same time continuing to become more and more aware of what you might call your unconscious self or your spiritual self. And this awareness that you're gaining here more and more and integrating all of these deeper aspects of yourself is creating more freedom for you, more spiritual transformation throughout the year. Now, Uranus is going to be transitioning into Aries here around April. So around that time, going into your 4th house, there could be a bit of maybe some changes happening with your home sector, family perhaps, or with your health sector. So really good to bring in that spontaneity and change, being open to new and different things when it does come to this personal life stuff. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, Capricorn, so here's your chart for 2019. Now we are using the actual size of the constellations, as you can see here. If you are new to the channel, you will notice a lot of the signs are different that I'm mentioning than mainstream astrology. And that's because we're using the actual constellations in the sky. So if you are new, definitely check out that link down below. And you want to make sure that you do in fact have Capricorn in your sidereal chart. So there's a sidereal chart calculator down below. Do check that out and make sure you do have your sun, moon, or ascendant in Capricorn. All right, so yep, and also too, I want to mention, you'll notice here that we are using the outer planets. So this is going to give us a good general look at the reading. But if you do want a more detailed look with the fast-moving planets, do check out the daily forecasts that I do. All right, so Capricorn, let's have a look here at 1st January because a lot of things are starting here that month. We have the eclipses and we also start the two aspects that we have for the year. So looking at the eclipses first, we have a solar eclipse on the 5th of January. And this is going to be in that 12th house of behind the scenes stuff. And so really good time right at the beginning of the year to really sit with this energy and be observant if there are any patterns in your life involving maybe your alone time or involving spirituality or matters pertaining to what's behind the scenes, whatever that might be for you. And just be observant if there's any patterns here, because it's through this awareness that you'll likely be naturally wanting to release some things. And so there's nothing to really do externally. It's more of an internal process in this 12th house, that as you become more and more conscious of your unconscious self and even your deep psyche and really what you want and need in your life for peace and tranquility, as you become aware of this, you're naturally going to be releasing some things that maybe from the past you may have wanted regarding peace, tranquility, your alone time, or whatever it is, that is maybe just no longer serving you. And you may just want to release and let go. And this can be very freeing and very liberating for you. Now, on January 21st, we have the lunar eclipse, and this is going to be in your 7th house of relationships. So if a lot of you have been learning a lot of stuff this almost past year regarding relationships, the dynamics of relationships, give and take, things of this nature, there could be a completion here with this area. So a high point, a culmination regarding anything involving that. And a lot of the culmination will probably be also in April once the North Node leaves your 7th house and goes into your 6th. You know, culmination with anything involving, you relating with others or your partnerships. Now, where the North Node's going to go April, and which will probably feel mostly in July when we have the next set of eclipses, it's going to be on your 6th house of routine, your health, your health, and anything you do on a work level involving your work. So really good to set some new intentions here right at the beginning of the month, July 2nd. New intentions with your work, new things there, maybe with your health or diet or routine. Great to set intentions for new things there. And this is going to segue into what will be the next 6 months of developing this area. All right. Now, at the end of the month there, or middle of the month, July 16th, we do have the lunar eclipse in the 12th house, which is going to finalize a lot of the stuff that you may have started earlier in the year in January. So if in January, again, some of that releasing work kind of started something new for you spiritually or psychologically or maybe even creatively, this is all coming to the high points and the apex here, mid-July. And so a great time to do a status check. Again, how is your spiritual well-being, your alone time, your rest, things like this. And there'll be a lot of awareness about it. And at the same time, you'll become, again, aware of what is no longer serving you with it, and you'll be releasing some things there with that. Also pay attention to where there might be some self-limiting things associated with this stuff, since the South Node will be very close to Saturn. And also maybe releasing some fears associated with these things as well. And that's really a good way of working with the first half of the year in general. But once you get to about mid-July, there could be certainly a completion and a shift and pivot with this area to help you further this greater peace and tranquility balance into your life. And a big key to that will be the routine and the health and the work stuff you do on a day-to-day basis, because, you know, in order for us to have really good peace and spiritual receptivity in life, we do need to have our routines in order, right? Time management, energy management, time to meditate, scheduling time to rest, you know, things like this, for example, that can really help facilitate this. And we do need things to do on a day-to-day basis, like our work and our service and things like this. All right, so that's the July time. Now, typically this would be the end of the eclipses, you know, 2 eclipse seasons. But since the eclipse seasons are happening right at the beginning of the years, we are going to have a solar eclipse right at the end of this year on December 26th. And this is again going to be in your 12th house, but this time it's going to be conjunct Jupiter. So what this means is that leading up to the eclipse, so we're going to say November and December, you're probably going to notice that it's maybe not just on the heavier side involving some of these behind the scenes matters. Jupiter's going to come in here, and there's probably going to be a bit of inspiration, potentials, opportunities, and synchronicities, and gaining insight from dreams and all this stuff that's a little bit more higher perspective and inspiring, in fact. So with that, once we get to December 26th, there'll likely be a new beginning with this, maybe a newfound sense of what inspires you about 12th house matters. Again, some of you might be creative, psychologically, spiritually, on all levels, probably some sort of greater inner peace, inner stillness, inner acceptance that can be very freeing and very inspiring for you, taking you into 2020. All right, so let's go ahead and back up to January. Those were the eclipses for the year, but let's take a look at some of these aspects that we have. There's 2 of them. And they start in January, and they're going to be lasting for pretty much the rest of the year for all intents and purposes. Now, one is going to be Jupiter squaring up to Neptune, and the other Saturn sextiling Neptune. So a lot of aspects involving Neptune this year. And so this is in your 2nd house. And it's nothing new, but it's going to be a very constructive year for this area that has to do with your resources, maybe finances, and fundamentally your sense of self-worth. Because over the past roughly 10 years, there's been these experiences that have been helping you cultivate a greater acceptance about the area of resources, and to see how everything does happen and an ebb and flow in life. And a lot of you maybe even having some dreams and ideals about your resources, like your income or your financial security or things like this. And so it's a great year to cultivate this stuff. It's just probably going to require a bit of constructive energy, because the square to Jupiter, collectively with Neptune, it might be, you know, we have our heads in the clouds, or we're wanting to escape or hide away. But in a square, we really want to ground the energy, and it's a great opportunity to do so. So as you cultivate some of these future aspirations and open your horizons to some of these things, and also connecting to your friends or network circles or doing innovative and progressive things, that can be directly supportive for your financial material sector. All right, and vice versa. You know, as you access this self-reliance that is about connecting within and trusting and having faith, that also helps support a lot of these aspirations you may have. Now, from the Saturn side to it, also supporting this is that the work you're doing behind the scenes or with the deeper aspects to life, that also supports this area of your resources. So great to do that. Some good examples is having, again, more peace, more acceptance of what is, helps us see the ebb and flows of how everything does come in divine timing when we are dealing with resources in life. All right, so those are the aspects going into the year. And the last important thing to talk about here is Uranus. Uranus is going to be going into your 4th house here around April. And so this is going to be likely mixing some things up when it comes to your home life and your health, more than likely. So this is essentially everything in your life that has to do with your roots and foundations. And when Uranus comes in here, it's good to really try new things, experiment, and really intentfully disrupt the area. How can you disrupt, healthfully, of course, and intentfully, your home life so that it's a greater reflection of your true self? So there's more freedom with it, more spontaneity with it, more excitement. Same with your health as well. Connecting to your body, your emotions, the past, feelings, all of this can be very exciting and good to experiment with and try new things with. All right, so all things on the personal life front, really good for that. And you'll probably notice a little bit of excitement there or some new things unfolding around April onward. And I would say always good to listen to that excitement and be conscious of incorporating some of this change. And how can your home life and personal life be a greater reflection of your true self? All right, so Capricorn, have a fantastic 2019. Thank you for watching. Now on the page is a 20% discount for a personal reading if you do want a personal look at 2019. But I want to say thank you very much for all of you who've been liking, commenting, and sharing these videos. It's very much appreciated. And I'll see you all very soon in the next daily forecast. Take care.